injuries for the game. Armstead will be out. Deebo will be out. Juszczyk is out. Greenlaw is out. Verret is questionable. Jauan Jennings is questionable. Go ahead.
What's the process of, with all those guys being out, 4 of your top players, how do you kind of process that and go about the game plan on both sides of the ball?
I mean, we knew it was a chance earlier in the week, so it's not, we've had to work on it all week. We had hope, so you plan on both ways, but still hoping to get Jauan, still hoping to get Verret, but we've been preparing that way accordingly.
We have to elevate another receiver from the practice squad?
Most likely. We'll see how Jauan is tomorrow to see whether we got to do 1 or 2, but most likely.
How severe is Deebo's hamstring injury, or is this more of a precaution because you have the bye next week?
I mean, it's not a precaution. I mean, he's not good enough to go. Since the fact that he even had a chance means hopefully he'll be good with a week off and ready for the next game.
Christian is with digesting this game plan?
Yeah, I do. I mean, he worked real hard to get his stuff last week. We gave the whole team the game plan on Wednesday. It's harder for a guy when he hasn't heard the stuff other weeks, but he did great in his 3 practices, and it's good to go.
What has Verret shown you from the time 3 weeks ago when you guys opened that window to where he is now?
Just that he's getting more and more confident. The first week I think he was real excited to get out there because he'd rehabbed so hard. You get in a couple things from just moving full speed with all 22 guys out there, and you want to take a couple steps back because it's so much different than rehab. Last week took a step forward, got more reps, got to do it a couple more days, and I thought this was his best week.
Do you think, I'm not sure it's a combination, but do you think it's more the mental barrier or the physical barrier right now?
I don't know. I mean, I've never torn my ACL. You'd have to ask those guys about it. I think it's both. I think the physical part is done with the trainers and all the rehab of just sprinting and hitting times and making sure that you're capable of being the same guy. But when it comes to playing football, reacting and covering people and doing stuff like that, that is a physical and mental thing. You got to get that, and your body's got to react to it, which I think takes time. The first few times you do it, I think you have a lot more soreness than usual, and then you got to be confident to put those feet in the ground and not hesitate, because that's what happens to guys when they hurt it too. So it takes them a while to mentally get back also.
There's an upcoming game on an artificial surface weigh at all on whether Verret plays? I
don't think so. I mean, definitely makes it. I mean, you better be 100% sure. I mean, I definitely truly believe that stuff's worse, and I think the majority of people do. So, I mean, if that was a huge concern of him, then that would be a big thing. But I take it all into account.
That's a fairly new surface. I mean, have you guys found that to be as kind of springy as that MetLife turf was a few years ago?
I don't really know. I just think turf's worse than grass,
Is it something where you would consider maybe giving him a few snaps as opposed to a whole game plan just to sort of get his feet wet a little bit?
Yeah, that's something we are considering. I mean, if we feel good about Verret, whether he's out there starting or whether he's out there getting 10 to 15 plays, I think that's something that would help our team.
Well, do you have, we've talked about the Super Bowl memories last week, so now I'm bringing up the last year's NFC Championship game memories. Was that film also hard to watch, and just how fresh is that feeling still from losing that game?
It was as fresh as it could be before we played him last time, which was only like 3 weeks ago. But that kind of put that to bed a little bit for us, to where, I mean, that was our first time really hard as a team and stuff, revisiting it, having to go through it all week. We even did it the night before the game. But it hasn't been the same this week. Good? All right. Thanks, guys.